And so let's just get this rodeo going. Ms. Annabelle.
Mr. Chairman, Commissioners, thank you for hosting this budget workshop for our fiscal year 21-22 budget. First of all, I want to tell you how much work goes into all this. Of course, you know each of the departments for a couple of months have been working on their request, preparing things, considering how much they'd spent previous years on different things, working their budgets, and they turned them in, kept everything relatively flat this year, and just all the departments have done a really good job. And of course, today's opportunity is for you guys to ask any of the department heads any questions you have, or anything. We're prepared to accept any questions, defend any numbers that we put into the budget to your satisfaction, I hope. And want to especially thank the Finance Committee and all the work that they've done. In case you guys don't know, you did a great job in selecting Annabelle. She has gone through this entire thing line by line. I am confident that we've not missed anything. Everything looks really good. She and her staff have just done an excellent job. I want to commend them. As soon as she's going to talk about a few things here, and then if it's agreeable with y'all, we'd like to start with the agencies after she gets kind of some basic guidelines laid down, because we have several people here that probably would like to get back to other jobs and activities. So if that's acceptable to you, we'd like to proceed that way.
Sounds good. Thank you, Bill.
So, Annabelle?
Okay. Well, thank you, Mr. Chairman and Commissioners. Good morning. It is my pleasure to present to you the fiscal year 2021-2022 budget. This budget does not only represent the numbers, it also represents some hopes, goals, and visions, now more than ever based on our recovery from all the challenges and obstacles that we faced from this pandemic. Fiscal year 21 has certainly taught us what all had to change, but we definitely adapted to it. And so we look forward to continue conquering all of those challenges in the new year. Fiscal year 22, which is what we will be talking about today, it does have some unknowns, but we're striving to continue to conquer all that together. And so with that, our budget for this year, a quote, is E pluribus unum, which means one from many. So I stole this from Joe, so thank you, Joe. We do see this quote every day in our currency, but we sometimes don't realize the real meaning of this. I thought it was fitting as we are coming together to overcome all of these challenges and to face the recovery together, all with the help and the guide of you commissioners, from our new leaderships, from all of our departments, our employees, and most of all, our Chaves County residents. So together we are one. Again, kind of want to reiterate what Bill just said. Thank you for all the work, effort, and time, the Finance Committee, Will Cavan, Calder Zell, Lucia Serrano. As you know, this is mine and Bill's first duo together alone, and Mac decided to join the band, so I know he'll be a great addition to that. And of course, we wouldn't be complete without our departments, so they're always trying their best to only ask for what is absolutely needed. So department heads, elected officials, thank you, and thank you for your patience and understanding. So with that, I'd like to direct your attention to the first summary on our workbook. And I will wait for Alfredo to change the TV to that. The Chaves County budget fiscal year 2021-2022. This first graph shows you a brief summary of our general operating revenue. And here to the side, it'll show the Chaves County total revenues. And this includes all of our fire departments, grants, special funds, restricted funds, all of that. So it kind of does a comparison between those two. It just kind of paints the total picture, a pie of the departments and their slices in it. Below here, you will see the total expenses for the Chaves County. And so this is ultimately the number that you will be possibly presented with next week, and this will be before you for your blessing, $63,908,794. And so to the left here, we have the general operating expenses, and I'll get a little bit into more of this detail, but the general operating is a $27,625,859. And so quickly, I just kind of want to go over the recap cash. We are in the black in all of our funds. And so this was something that we talked over with our finance committee. This was from all the departments, all of the requests, all of that is in here. So again, the ultimate number, this is what you will be responsible for, and you will be approving. It's a $63,908,794. So I want to dive a little bit into our general operating budget. So as you can see on the very top, this is all of our revenues here. And so this year, we decided to be very conservative on this. As you know, our gross receipts have been declining, and right now we're at a 7.83% decrease compared to last year. And so upon the recommendation of our finance committee, we cut those projections for next fiscal year back 15%, just because we know that there's still a lot of industries that are being impacted due to the pandemic. There was also some other declining trends that we have analyzed, and so we also decided to stay conservative on those as well. And so based on our revenue projection, here we have our expenditures. And so the overrun of costs over revenue is $155,172. So this is within our tolerance amounts. And of course, just a reminder, a budget is a projection, or it's a plan for our future year. So we have a record of accuracy, and we do not deviate from our browbeating method. So we will continue to ask for your guidance and your wisdom in the coming year. And so with that, of course, like Bill had said, our department budgets, they did have, most of their budgets were really flat. But I do want to direct your attention over to our capital outlay. And so I'm just going to kind of go over some of the departments might be talking about these items, but as far as the capital outlay this year, we are focusing mostly on our projects that we have going on right now. For example, our HVAC. We hope to have this completed by next fiscal year, so you'll see that in there. As well as our courthouse elevator, which we just got in this week, so this is great. So we hope to have that completed by August, if not sooner. The ongoing radio project that we have with PVRCC, our roof, we hope to replace that as soon as the HVAC is completed. We hope to do our roof. And of course, the ongoing project with the Area D. So as you can see, most of the departments that had requested items are showing as not approved. But thanks to the department staying under their budget, and so we were able to buy some of these actually in this current fiscal year. So you'll see me doing a budget adjustment for this current fiscal year. For example, our road equipment that Joe West had requested for his department, some of that will be bought this year, as well as the transport vans for the detention center, the sheriff's office, and the community service. So with that, I will jump over to our agency allocations. And I had sent an email yesterday along with the letters. So you kind of saw a worksheet like this. If you just double click the white button, you'll see this PDF pop up. So when you have, you want to go through each one, you can go ahead and do that within that email or on the justification workbook that I sent you. So with this, I have here all of the allocations that were requested. Those that are currently in the budget this fiscal year are in it for the next fiscal year. I do know Mr. Nava from Hispano Chamber sent an email yesterday afternoon to request an allocation of $20,000. That isn't in the workbook yet since that was kind of sent last minute. And I know Main Street Roswell is here today as well, and they have a new request for this fiscal year, so you may be hearing from them today. And so with that, just a quick update on personnel changes. We do have 2 new positions currently in the budget for the Sheriff's Office and the IT, and we also have 2 reclassifications in positions to different charts. So with that, before I absolutely pass this back over to Bill, I just kind of briefly want to talk about the American Rescue Plan Act. This is in the budget currently right now. We submitted the application. The chairman signed this on the 11th of May. We do expect to hear within at least 4 days how soon we will be receiving that money. We're working with our finance committee to form a committee that will be connected to our community to help us do a strategy plan and to be able to see what kind of investments we could do for our future using these funds. And so with that, I'll pass it back over to Bill so we can hear from our agencies.
Mr. Chairman, Commissioners, if it's acceptable to you, as I suggested, maybe we take a look at the agencies, discuss those, because we do have some people in the room that probably need to move on. And Annabelle can assist us with guiding us through those, if you would.
Sure, yes. I don't know, Main Street Roswell, would you like to come up to the podium? And,
I'm Molly Boyles. So we hope all of you have seen our presentation. This is the annual report we have to provide for the city tonight. And as you can see, we stay very active in keeping our merchants above water, especially during COVID. We used to have a partnership with the county, and I don't know, that was before all our time and probably your time, so we don't know where that went. But we do need your support to help keep, promoting our downtown businesses. We really appreciate your time and your consideration.
I originally had a business downtown and know the value of Main Street Roswell and all the work it does to help bring additional individuals into our corridor. Of course, we have the UFO Museum that brings our visitors, but to get some of our locals downtown, it really does take extra work. And that's where Main Street Roswell has stepped up with the First Friday downtown markets and many of the small events that are held downtown, including, we of course do the Chili Cheese Festival. You guys have been fantastic partners to allow us to use the Chaves County Courthouse lawn for those types of things. We also host, of course, the Farmers Market, which also helps bring additional people into our downtown district. Extremely helpful for our businesses and to highlight the beauty of our downtown.
And I would like to add, we have great reporting. We keep great records with our financials and everything. We can provide, monthly reports, anything you need. Any questions for us?
Commissioners, any questions for?
Mr. Chairman, I have a few. What are your funding sources for Main Street Roswell?
We have an MOU with the city, $40,000 that pays the salary, but
No, that pays our operating
our
expenses.
operating expenses. The problem we're having right now is, as you know, we actually hired a new executive director this past week, but finding qualified people for the salary we're able to pay is really very difficult. We did find someone, and we're hoping she can learn some of she's very good with people, but she needs to learn the grant writing and the record keeping and that kind of stuff. So we're relying on more funds to try to maybe find more qualified people.
In addition to the MOU with the city, we do also seek out grants, both locally through the state and federal grants. We have been able to complete several projects throughout the downtown district, and some of these go back quite a few years. So the mural at Reichman, the statue of Robert H. Goddard, those are some of the things. Our newest one was the mural there on the north-facing wall of the UFO Museum, which if you guys spend much time downtown, you will see a ton of people pulling over. They'll find their quickest parking spot and go run over there to get pictures with that mural. That one has been extremely popular. We also work through New Mexico Main Street, who offers several different grants. We have a facade grant that we have been able to utilize several times over the past, 6-8 years to help beautify our downtown district. Some of those buildings are not getting the attention that they need. The owners being out of town and not having an eye on their buildings and not understanding how their buildings are starting to lack curb appeal. So by being able to work with both the building owners and the individuals that are renting, we can work through New Mexico Main Street to help beautify that area even further.
And we also got a grant to pay for the benches. We've been collecting the bottle caps for a long time, the plastic ones. We got a grant to help pay for that.
Truck leaves on Sunday.
Yeah, so we're getting benches coming back, 30 benches are coming back. And then we have the Great Blocks grant that we were awarded, so we're trying to beautify and make a walking event space over there. I don't know if you're familiar, what street, by Walnut.
It's at the end of where First Street dead ends at the railroad tracks.
So we're trying to create an event space right now for that. So, and then we try to do fundraisers. With COVID, our fundraisers had to be canceled.
beyond difficult.
Yeah. But we have some other ideas that are coming up soon that we'll be announcing for more fundraisers.
So it's mainly city money and grant money?
Yes.
Is where your money is coming from right now?
We do not have a membership, if that's what you're asking. We do
Okay.
not charge.
You don't do a membership?
No, ma'am.
Okay.
If a business, I'm sorry, if a business is within our district, they are considered a part of Main Street Roswell. Whether they choose to participate in our events is totally up to them, but our services are available to them, and all of our events are open to them.
We send out regular emails, and we have a stakeholders page where everyone stays in communication with each other all the time, all the merchants do.
And you keep saying district. Where is the Main Street district?
So I can't tell you exactly where the lines are without my map, but basically it is from Lee to the railroad tracks. And there's some areas where it cuts through. And then it goes from Walnut to 8th.
Okay. So not just Main Street
No, ma'am.
businesses can participate, others
Correct.
can?
And we do have several businesses. We're still looking to get more of the businesses over on Virginia Street involved, but we do have several over on Richardson that participate in several of our events. The First Friday Downtown Markets,
Okay.
the Piñata Fest, and the Passport program that we will again be hosting, this time under the name of Alien Fest.
And if you haven't done so already, I would recommend you look at, we have a lot of the details in our summary of what we've done,
My
accomplished.
next question is, what will you be doing for the Alien Fest, UFO Fest / whatever fest
We'll
they're
be
going
doing,
to have this
like we
year?
did the Chili Cheese Fest, we're going to have like a passport program, but it's going to be a scavenger hunt. So we're trying to encourage people to go downtown. United Blood Services is having a blood drive, and we'll have live music and stuff going on at the courthouse too. So we're just trying to encourage more people to visit downtown area to frequent the
And to
merchant.
spend time in the downtown area, because during that weekend, some people will just go to the UFO museum and then scooch on out. We want them to spend time in our downtown district. We have amazing shops. We've got a great variety of shops, and we want them to see those beautiful buildings. Many of those buildings, as you know, date back to the late 1800s, the fronts of them. And we've got businesses that are really working hard to bring downtown back to a lively area. We get great reviews for our first Friday downtown markets, with people getting out and about and being able to enjoy the evenings. So that's our idea, is to encourage people to stay in the district for more than just 10 minutes.
The passport, I'm sorry, the
I
passport
was
program
just-
is, go ahead.
Yeah, I like the passport program.
And
That's
it's
fun
free,
for
because
kids.
the idea is to
Yeah.
try to get people, into the
Kids like
shops to
that.
spend money and raise the GRT.
Do you try and include the museum at all in any of these events? I know at one time
The
you were
Roswell
trying to
Museum?
get people down to the museum
The
as far
UFO
as Main
museum?
Street. No, the Roswell Museum
The Roswell
too.
Museum isn't in our district, but when we had the UFO Fest, we
Right.
did include them, but then they
Okay.
kind of stepped away with
Okay.
the funding problems, I think. But the UFO Museum, they're great partners, they're great supporters for us.
Okay.
And I believe she has it in here. We have fantastic relationships with several different organizations here in town and large corporations that really do help to benefit our merchants. And that's our job, is to remind people how beautiful downtown Roswell can be. I think many of you in this room tend to go around. The traffic can be kind of a pain because the stoplights are so close together and not always timed properly. So I think there are a lot of people that unfortunately drive around downtown rather than driving through downtown and seeing what we have to offer.
But there's a lot we do too that you guys, probably are aware. We do the planting of the flowers, we have the lights up at Christmas, we do that. We've bought the flags that they put up, the city helps us put up, on every holiday. So there's,
And helping with the planting of the flowers would Keep Chaves County Beautiful. Thank you
Yes.
very much.
Absolutely, they're
We
great.
provided those Keep
Rita and Keep
Chaves County
Chaves, yeah.
Beautiful.
That's
Exactly.
another one of our fantastic
Yes.
partnerships.
Yeah.
Yes, thank you. Okay, thank you, Mr. Chairman, thank you. Appreciate it.
Any other questions?
Commissioners?
Do we have your budget?
I think I have everything here. I've highlighted stuff. Here, find it in there. It's stapled. And we can email it to you, too.
Okay, that's fine, just as,
Yeah, our executive director, Kathy Lay, that left us, she's an amazing record keeper, and she's kept, and so we're hoping the new ED will follow her footsteps, because she's left everything in place. She's even got a step-by-step, this is what needs to be done this month, so.
Mr. Chairman, one more question. Can you announce who that is or not yet?
No, well, we're going to announce it tonight at the city.
Okay,
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
I know you were having a tough time with that.
Yeah, it's just,
Like you said, nobody.
again, and most of it, the people that we found that were qualified turned us down because our salary and we don't have benefits, so
Yeah.
we're working on that, but, you know, being a nonprofit and
Right.
being limited funding, that's why we're
It's
hoping you guys will
very
partner
tough.
with us and we can.
Thank you.
Commissioner Taylor, you looked like you might have a question.
How much funding do you receive from the city of Roswell?
We're currently receiving $40,000 a year, which barely costs, well, it doesn't cover our complete operating expenses, which is where the grants and additional fundraisers come.
Okay, are we gonna, do you have a budget?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, sir.
She's getting the copies for it.
She's getting you
I'd
a
like to
copy.
see the budget.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yes, sir.
Mr. Chairman,
Commissioner Zell?
I'm afraid Rita is going to soil one of our chairs.
Just hoping.
Rita Kane Dorhofer, very narrow, unstriped Mark Road. I am also the treasurer of Keep Chaves County Beautiful. These ladies here, every time they put on a function, I ask them if we can participate, and they have let Keep Chaves County Beautiful partner with them for any and all events that they have. And I report to you every month, every second month, of what we do. Without partnering with Main Street Roswell, Keep Chaves County Beautiful would not be able to do the things we do to beautify Chaves County. Thank you, ladies.
Thank you, Rita.
Commissioners, anything else? I've got just a few questions to ask. What kind of collaboration does Main Street Roswell have with the EDC and with the Roswell Chamber?
So with the EDC, we have Melissa, right? She
Yes.
attends our meetings monthly, and we've kept in communication with them, actually Kathy did, especially with all the PPP loan information and any kind of COVID support and relief. She's constantly in contact with her.
Okay, and one of the things, in looking at the presentation that we got in the email, the EDC has changed up their logo for Chaves County. And if you haven't seen it, I think it looks really good.
Yeah, I haven't seen it.
And it incorporates everything that we have going on here in Chaves County, not just the alien stuff, because there's more to Roswell than just
Yeah.
alien. So if you can look at that, I think it's a great logo that they did, and I would say work as closely with our other entities, including the chamber, to do great things for this community. I use this, a couple of weekends ago, we were up in Ruidoso, and we had some people who came in and sat down in a restaurant, and they started kind of talking about Roswell and what a waste it was to come through Roswell, because they came in and it was all about the alien stuff. And I would hope that when we're doing these things, that we have more collaboration with our museums. We have amazing museums here in this community, and we should be promoting everything that we have going on in the downtown area, and not just the UFO museum.
No, we agree with you completely. That's why we try to do the passport program. We call it the Alien Fest because it brings people in, but we want people to see there's so much more here than the alien stuff. When we did the passport program in the past, we included every museum, the Anderson Museum, the Walker Museum, because we wanted people to see all the culture of Roswell, not just the alien.
Yeah, we have amazing history. The Southeastern New Mexico Historical Museum. We have a lot to offer here
Yes.
in Roswell and Chaves County, and so we need to make sure that we're promoting all of that. the city has hired someone to basically run the UFO festival this year. Is that correct?
Yeah, they hired a third-party company out of Amarillo, I
state.
think, yeah.
Yes.
And where's all that going to be held this year?
As I understand, it's at DeBremen Stadium.
Cielo Grande.
No, they said DeBremen.
Oh. I thought the last I.
No, they are-
heard,
oh,
the
they are
movies-
having- they are
the
having
movies
some.
and so forth, it's
They're at both
between-
locations, but-
Between those two locations.
But the
Right.
city's in control of all that.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Now, I know since I've been on the commission that we haven't had Main Street Roswell come to the county for funds. Is this the same organization that Dusty Huckabee was in charge of back
Yes.
years
And
ago?
I think when he was here years ago, I think there was a partnership. In fact, I know there was, but I don't know what happened to
It may have been back in Dusty's,
Yeah, it was before our time, yeah.
right, back in that term. Okay.
But we're happy, to come again, like monthly, and give reports where everything stands.
Right, no, absolutely, and that's the one thing that we need to
Yes.
be doing, is we need to be promoting Roswell, but we all need to be working together.
Yes, no, we
'Cause-
agree.
And so I was happy to hear and see Rita come up and be supportive, but the EDC, the chamber, all these entities that are promoting the city of Roswell and Chaves County have to be all playing on the same sheet of music. And
Yeah, it
so
won't work
that's what we
without
need
that,
to
yeah,
do.
we understand that, yeah.
No, all right. No, well, I appreciate y'all's presentation, and we'll look forward to seeing the budget and making a decision on that. You guys are greatly appreciated. You guys do so much for the community.
Thank you.
And you're appreciated, and so I'm glad you guys came in today to.
Thank you. If I could just add, you were talking about the diversity of our county. The Chili Cheese Festival is one of those that a lot of people assume is just a party, but it's not just a party. It's a way to celebrate our farmers, our dairy industry, and of course, Leprino being one of our largest employers is also one of our largest donors for that project. We want people to understand just how important agriculture is to our county. Personally, we have, my family has a place in the Hondo Valley, partially in Lincoln County, the majority in Chaves County. And I understand from a personal perspective exactly how important agriculture is.
So how are you guys going to get the nuts involved? The pecans?
I have tried reaching out. Right behind our farm out in East Grand Plains, we have a pecan orchard, and I have spoken with them a couple of different times, but really not gotten the response that I'd hoped as far as getting them involved.
Well, I think the Kirkendalls and the Chase families, you might get some ideas from them and do some type of a promotion, because that is a big, that's another one of our big.
It's huge for our area. Absolutely it is, yes.
So.
And I just want to thank, our board. We have several board members here. We all have a passion to make Roswell better. Yeah, and we have so many volunteers that help out too. So we just need more help, financially to make our vision even better.
We've got a lot of great ideas. We need some extra support to help get those to come to fruition.
Well, I'll tell you, one of the things that a conversation we had in our meeting was working on going ahead, the lights that you guys do at Christmas time and everything. And I spent some time talking with Jesse about trying to incorporate the courthouse lawn with that.
Yes.
That'd be
but
amazing.
We'll see whether that comes to fruition or not because of the
The
electrical sources.
Yes, sir.
Right,
Yeah.
so, but that's something that we need to look at. Maybe we can have a runway for someone to try and drive up to the courthouse doors.
Well, I was thinking, now's the perfect time to go through and mulch everything in, new stuff, and get everything nice and flat. They've already put those big old ruts in the grass, so, now's the time to go through and have the courthouse lawn totally replanted, and we'll stick electrical under there while you're doing it.
Right.
I thought the timing was perfect.
And I would like to thank Mr. Bill Williams. His support, especially during the farmer's market and everything. I'm constantly emailing him for help and stuff, so,
Okay.
Is there gonna be chili cheese this year?
yes, sir.
Yes, sir. We are
Downtown or at
planning
the
on it.
fairgrounds?
Downtown.
Oh, downtown,
Okay.
at the courthouse.
maybe somehow you can incorporate the nuts and pecans and stuff with the
Yeah,
Pinata
that's a good
Fest
idea.
if
We'll
you,
look into that, yeah. Because I know Chance, so I'll get a hold of Chance. Say, hey.
exactly.
So if any questions happen to come up regarding our budget and so forth, feel free to call us back up. I'm not running away right away. I don't know if she probably has to get to work, but I'm happy to stay
And our
for,
treasurer's here too, so.
yeah. We would be happy to answer any questions you might have.
Yeah, so Chris will be calling her in a minute saying, what are you doing? Why aren't you at the office? All right. Thank you guys so much.
Thank you so
very
much
much.
for your time.
Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, looking out across the room, we have a couple of other entities who've joined us this morning, and if it's all right with you, I'd like to ask Ms. Andrea Moore to come forward and just give us an update on Roswell Chamber of Commerce and where they're at.
Good morning, Chairman and Commissioners. Thank you for having me this morning. We are just continuing on our path that we have been on since August. We are currently working on our second issue of Roswell Now magazine, which is called Our Extraordinary People issue. We are planning on having the summer issue every year be the Extraordinary People. We are highlighting the Citizen of the Year and partnering with the Realtors Association. They do the Citizen of the Year award every year. Last year, their Citizen of the Year was not, their banquet was canceled because of the pandemic, and they're not able to do their big banquet this year. So both recipients of the award from last year and this year will be the feature on the cover. We are reaching out to all the high schools in Chaves County. We want to do some kind of a write-up on all of the valedictorians from every high school in Chaves County. I've already heard back from New Mexico Military Institute, for example. They are going to give us pictures and a bio of both the junior college and the high school valedictorians over there. I have calls in to all of the other high schools and have not yet heard back, but for obvious reasons, not everybody has been out yet, and they're still kind of doing their GPAs. We have reached out to several people in town, and we've got some extraordinary people that are over 100 years old, so we're getting ready to do an article on that and the history of Chaves County. We're excited to see that because I can only imagine the history and the changes that they have seen. And I am in the process of getting the budget that I have shown you guys for our 21-22 fiscal year approved by the board. They've already seen everything. We just have our board meeting next week, so it'll be officially approved at that point. And we're just, moving along. And I must say I have learned a tremendous amount since August about how the nonprofit world works, how to fix things when broken. And if you have any questions, I stand for questions.
Commissioners, any questions for Ms. Moore?
Mr. Chairman, Andrea, how is your audit going?
We are complete with the 18 and 19. I have been in contact with the gentleman, Daniel Trujillo, over at the auditor's office. There's just a couple of things that are left that we needed to submit to them for the 2020, and they were waiting for their funding from the city for the 18 and 19 before they would complete 2020. They have now received those funds, and so we will be completed with the 2020 audit. But no extraordinary findings have been found thus far in 18 or 19 fiscal year audits.
Okay, thank you very much for that update on that, because I do receive questions. The magazine was terrific. I had people telling me, hey, did you get this magazine? And yeah, it was wonderful. Thank you so much for that. Thank you for including Chaves County. I appreciate it. I tell you this every time. Chaves County, we have more than just Roswell in Chaves County, and so it's nice that you're showing love to Chaves County as a whole. I appreciate that, and I know people within the county appreciate that, especially our little O entities, Dexter, Hagerman, Lake Arthur, Midway.
Because Chaves County is quite frankly more than Roswell.
Yes.
We can't forget Lake Arthur, Hagerman, Dexter, and all of the other entities that incorporate Chaves County, because we wouldn't be Chaves County without them.
But I appreciate that, and I'm looking forward to the next magazine, because I read it cover to cover. I picked it up and just kind of thumbed through it, and then when I sat down with the articles, the people writing the articles and the history, you guys are going to learn. Chaves County has some amazing history.
We sure do.
And you guys are going to learn a lot. I did we've been here, Renee and I moved here about 43 years ago, and I never knew about Chaves County till I moved here. And the first thing I tell people when they move here, go to the museums and learn about our history and our people, walk Main Street, learn about what's downtown, learn about the businesses, because we have such great history here in Chaves County. So you'll learn a lot, and your staff will too. They'll enjoy it.
Oh,
So-
we have had a blast, and we do have some overprints of the magazine, so if anybody would like extra copies, they just need to contact us over at the chamber. We have been in contact, for example, with the hospitals and our hotels, and we have dropped extras for them to put out in their rooms and in the waiting areas.
And I would say too, places like Peachtree and stuff. 'cause
Absolutely.
They're always looking for magazines and stuff for the people there, and Casa Maria and things, so. But thank you very much, I appreciate it, and thank you so much for incorporated Chaves County as a whole. I've been trying to get that for many years with the Roswell
Well, I've
Chamber,
learned a lot,
and I
just,
appreciate
like I
it.
said, since August, and about our county, because I too have been here about 25 years. And just in the last, I'd say 90 days doing this first magazine, I have just learned so much more than I ever thought I could.
Well, thank you, I appreciate
It's
it.
our pleasure.
Commissioners, any other questions for Ms. Moore? Thank you for your presentation, and and once again, I don't have a whole lot of questions, but what I would like to put out there is that, once again, collaboration within all the entities of the Chamber, Main Street, Roswell, EDC, Chaves County, the City of Roswell, we need to all be working together to do great things for this community, and I know your hard work, we can get that done. So thank you for what you're doing for the City of Roswell, Chaves County, and the Chamber. So thanks.
Mr. Chairman, I look out in the audience here, and I see that Mr. Espiritu is here. I believe he'd like to come forward and give us an update and tell us about his budget request.
Good morning, Mr. Chairman, Commissioners. It's always good to be before you. I know you've got a long agenda, so let me kind of keep this as brief as I can. Number one, we appreciate our partnership because together we can achieve more. And I think as a result of the work we've done together, we've seen some wonderful things happen in Chaves County. More importantly, I think our relationship with other entities have gotten a little bit stronger. They're not perfect, but I don't think they'll ever be perfect. But I think at least working towards it is an important step. As you know, the EDC is about several key things: business traction, business retention and expansion, workforce development, things of that nature to help build our community. This past year, we all know it's been a little bit different year. Most people say we lost a year. But the EDC, we never closed our doors. We were there every day, I think, except for 3. And what we've done is continue to reach out to our community a little bit differently. So a couple of big things that we've done this past year was to try to educate more folks across the country of who Chaves County really is, why they should continue to think about us in possible projects and opportunities that create jobs and make a better quality of place for people that desire to relocate or expand here in Chaves County. We did that by, we did a bunch of virtual site selection meetings with consultants across the country, about 30 consultants that I spoke to, taught them about Chaves County, taught them about our resources, taught them about the opportunities that we have here and why they should grow their companies here in our area. We also did a lot more outreach with advertising than we ever have, which I typically don't do a lot of that because it's hard to measure your return on your investment. But in light of unable to travel to meet with people and go to trade missions and sales missions, that we fell back to doing something more, and that is to do some selective advertising, not only in trade publications, but in specific publications that highlight just our state and, of course, Chaves County. We don't want to miss out on a publication that highlights New Mexico to site consultants without being represented by our county. As you know, with the pandemic, we partnered with you in pushing out information on PPP and worked together on the CARES grant applications. We visited over nearly 40 businesses every month, but during that time of those applications, we collectively visited about almost 500 businesses in the county. And I'm not talking just Roswell. We visited folks in the Lower Valley, and I think that's important. One of the areas that we learned was that we have a lot of folks that do not speak English and have limited skills in that area. We're fortunate to have at EDC two of our staff members that speak Spanish, and we are right now transitioning our website and other materials also into Spanish to help reach those folks that don't have the opportunity to engage from the English language. When we worked on the outreach to our community, we became pretty much a COVID clearinghouse of information. And what we did was try to reach out to our county of the different programs, the grants, loans, different things that people are entitled to that they may be unaware of, and how we can help them link to the resources so they can keep the jobs they have and hopefully expand their business when they're at a position to be able to do so. As you know, there are a number of businesses in Chaves County that had a very difficult time. And I will tell you and share with you that a number of those continue to struggle, and we at the EDC continue to work with them and reach out to them and companies almost every day. Why? Because, of course, they've made a major investment in our county to grow their business, create jobs, meet payroll, and things of that nature, and we need help support them. Big part of who we are. As a result of your partnership with us, we brought on a part-time person full-time, so we can do that a lot more. So we probably had done that in the past, but we do now visit a lot of folks. Either if we can't get to them in person, we'll call them, we'll email them, and maintain contact with them and get them the resources and links to resources they need to be successful. Recently, I attended the MRO show in Florida with the city of Roswell. I had about 30 appointments with companies, and as a result of that visit, I've had 3 companies that are considering Chaves County as a possible expansion. One even came on and already had a site visit to think about expanding their operation here, which I'm encouraged with. We have currently about 10 active projects, and I want to say about because some of them we're not really sure where they're at. But these are local projects that we have actually worked with local entrepreneurs, companies that are expanding here in our county, and hopefully that some of those will get to the finish line. A couple of those will be on tonight's city council agenda that I'll be speaking to. We respond to prospective recruitment opportunities from the state, and last year we did about 14. And one of those has actually requested more information for possibly a second or third look at Chaves County, which I'm encouraged by. So I think it's real important that we stay engaged with our state folks as far as generating leads and possible projects. And those are the things that we've done. From a workforce development perspective, we have a very strong collaborative partnership with Eastern New Mexico University, which is really critical because they're our workforce development partner. When consultants around the world, not just our country, but consultants around the world will tell you that the number one issue they're concerned with is workforce, that is an area that we need to focus on. We have a belief that people from Chaves County that have an opportunity to work here, get education so they can find a job here, are going to stay here in Chaves County and do great things. A former governor in the state of Mexico once said that the greatest export of New Mexico is our kids. And it's probably true. I would like to think that if we can create opportunity, create the pathways for young people to stay here and have a great job and have those skills associated with acquiring that job, makes us a better place for not only the families, but for people that choose to visit, and especially the ones that choose to expand here. We work very diligently with the university and the aircraft maintenance technician program. As you know, I spend a lot of time with a lot of energy with helping to build the Air Center, because that is a great gem for Chaves County as a source to create more opportunity. As you're aware of, we worked the Ascend Aviation Project, 360 jobs over a few years. Very pleased on how that's coming along. They do have a fully executed agreement with a hangar building company, so that's in progress. They're doing the engineering right now, so I'm hopeful that they'll start breaking ground in the very, very near future. I believe the company plans on having a fall start on the erection of the facility. We also have, and you haven't heard this yet because it's really new, we have an expansion of a company here in Chaves County that's going to grow another 30 jobs. And hopefully that company, initially 30 jobs, and I think that company will continue to move forward, and it's pretty exciting. As that develops, I will share that with you in your monthly meetings. We testify to the state board on job training incentive program funding. I know you've seen those in our reports. And what that is those companies that are seeking to expand by growing more jobs can request funding to offset their training costs from the state. In case you didn't know, that program called JTIP, or Job Training Incentive Program, is probably the Cadillac program in the country. And as a result of our work in testifying with the companies to the board almost on a monthly basis, several companies here have received hundreds of thousands of dollars to help offset the training costs from the state of New Mexico. We have a company, USA Beef. I know you're familiar with that company. They started with about 30 people. They're now up to 65. I don't know if you're aware of that or not. They're going to hire an additional more folks, and they have an application for JTIP funding for June. And we'll testify for that and see how that comes along. We worked with the university also on an FAA grant program, and it's about $500,000 to encourage more people to enter that program so we can get more aircraft mechanics. As you know, that industry is growing. They need help, and this program can certainly help offset that. You also know that we assisted with a new general mechanical technician program, certification program with Eastern. We reached out to community partners. We anticipate that to kick off in the fall. It's going to help not just the aircraft folks, but every industry that needs mechanical folks throughout their business efforts. Another big piece of workforce development is apprenticeship programs, and I will share with you, and I believe this wholeheartedly, and I told you this last month, that I believe we're leading the state in apprenticeship programs. Why do I believe that? Well, we have one company that has 5 already. We have one company that is planning to hire 10 apprenticeship programs through that model, and we have others that are coming on board now. This is a way we can grow our own workforce, as I mentioned earlier, for those people, those young people and older folks, to find a pathway to a great job opportunity in the near future. Next year, this next fiscal year, we'll continue to support our local businesses throughout our county. I met with some of the folks in the Lower Valley with the schools already, and getting on the CTE track, Career Tech Education track, once again, because as you know, with COVID, that kind of held off when the kids were out of school. I'm anxious to get that track restarted so we can get young folks lined up to the pathways in careers to grow the jobs, grow them with the jobs that are here already in our county and with the companies that we seek to bring in. We'll continue to reach out to our local business communities and businesses and visit with them and give them the resources they need to be successful. We did expand our facade grant program, as I mentioned, I think last month, and we awarded 2 awards this past year, and we anticipate award more than that this coming year. We rewrote the policy to provide not only Main Street area businesses, but any business in Chaves County that wants to improve the facade of their business to be able to apply and be able to receive funding. we will do that until we just don't have any more money. So hopefully, we're able to help a lot of folks. We will, as the country is opening up, we'll be beginning our more trade and sales missions to attract companies to Chaves County, primarily in the agriculture area and the aviation areas. I think are our two biggest sectors that we have opportunity. And we'll continue to link and outreach to people to tell them about what's available to help them stay in business, help grow their businesses, create more jobs, and find ways that we can access more opportunities to provide a better quality of place in life for the people that live here, and that will continue to think about us in the future. Mr. Chairman, Commissioners, thank you again for your partnership. Without it, economic development, in my opinion, would not happen. But it's important that we work together as a team to make better things happen for the people that live here in Chaves County. I stand for your question, sir.
Commissioners, any questions for Mike? Mike, I don't see, I greatly appreciate the work you're doing for Chaves County and City of Roswell and Lake Arthur and Hagerman and Dexter and Boot Hill, everything. Got a lot of opportunities. I think if we work hard enough, we can, we've got some money right now. I think the state sees that Chaves County and the City of Roswell, the Air Center, is something to invest in, and I think that we'll probably be seeing more funds that will be coming from the state to assist us in doing great things out there and creating those jobs that we know are out there if we get something built out there, and you know, a sense of great start, and that's been a great collaborative partnership with all the entities here in Chaves County. So thank you for helping to orchestrate that and keep it on a pathway to success there. So just thank you for all you're doing for Chaves County. So
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Mr. Chairman, Commissioners, the remaining items on this particular part of the budget request, of course, this is the part that has the request from the towns in the valley, Dexter, Hagerman, Lake Arthur. They're pretty much flat and unchanged. This is also the portion of the budget where we have the Cooperative Extension Service funded. Soil and water conservation districts are on here, and USDA, which of course takes care of our animal damage control here in Chaves County. That pretty much sums it up. If there's any questions, we'll try to answer those. If not, we'd like to move on to presentations from our different departments. We'd like to start with the big three, and if Annabelle kind of bring their budgets up as we go. And then we'll have some departments that will want to do presentations, in some cases because of personnel requests and things like that.
Bill, before we jump over there real quick, Commissioner Zell, Commissioner Bilberry, how's our predator control, USDA, how are our guys doing?
I never hear from him.
Never hear from them?
Okay, well, I didn't see what I just saw.
What about your neighbor, Commissioner Dana?
My neighbor
any
is
reports?
taking
Well, that's
care
what I
of the
requested.
coyote predators in my area, but he's not taking care of the skunks, like I've asked him. So I'm going to have Rita come out and take care of the skunks for me. But the coyotes are running around right now.
Yeah,
It's ridiculous.
well,
Thank you.
Commissioners, do you have any reports from the representative or anything on our USDA predators, our feral hogs and coyotes and everything that we're supposed to be paying these guys to hunt?
They're in the crosshairs.
Okay, good.
No, not the predators, the guys that hunt them. They're the ones that are in the crosshairs.
Okay. Mr. Chairman, if it's acceptable, we'll start with Joe West from the Road Department, and then we'll move into detention, and then kind of talk with the sheriff for a little bit, and then we'll go to individual departments.
Good morning, Mr. Chairman, Commissioners. I'm going to pull my,
Yeah, I have it up. He's just switching it over.
come on. First of all, I'd thank you for allowing us to present our budgets to you. again. I think mine's pretty flat all the way across. We did have to make a couple adjustments. As Annabelle mentioned earlier, the capital outlay that I had listed for next year, you guys were able to procure this year. And just an update, one of them has been ordered, and the other two will probably be ordered today or tomorrow. So thank you very much. The county thanks you as well. In 651, the first one's there wasn't anything drastic that stands out. 651 is the administration. That's my staff up front. 652 is the shop. We just had one slight increase in the 230 line. That was, the shop needs a new piece of equipment to make things. I would get into detail, and I do have the details here just because they're written down, but otherwise it's just a mill, is what they told me. So that increased by about 10,000 to cover the purchase of that. 653, there's a couple of decent changes there. You'll see the ones that are highlighted in blue is a decrease. That is our funding that we get from our LGRF funds from New Mexico DOT. In the 18 years I've been at Chaves County, this is the first year that we did not receive funding for our school bus route program. We did receive CAP and co-op, which for the last 4 years, the average of those funds is around $135,000 to $150,000. So we had a decrease there. You'll see on the next line on 291, the orange, there's an increase there. That line is what I call our county funded line. Generally, that is what takes care of projects that we do ourselves. For instance, when we have a lot of the county roads that you guys vote on throughout the year for road hearings that we pick up, if they're close to town, we like to get those roads double pin chip sealed, so we're not having to bring a piece of equipment all the way into town, a water truck and a blade, so on and so forth, to blade 2 blocks of street or road in the county. So we double pin chip seal those. That is paid for out of the 291 line. This last year we had a bridge collapse. Fortunately, nobody was hurt on Ojibwa Road that crosses the Hagerman Canal. That was down for quite some time. Generally, any time that happens, it's about $50,000 to $70,000 to replace one of these bridges. That was the cost on that one. And we have 18 bridges in Chaves County that we maintain. Those bridges are so just coincidentally on our ICIP for updates every year, so we try to stay on top of it. But when these bridges were built back in the day, they were not built for the traffic that they have today for agriculture, milk, everything that they see on a daily basis. Also out of that line is what we pay for our cattle guard materials, our culverts, so on and so forth. So historically, that was a $1 million line. In the last 2 or 3, 4 or 5 years, it's dropped down to 600,000. So that's why I asked for the increase to get it back up, because I'm pretty sure we will expend everything that we have in that line this year due to unforeseen things that came up. So if you do, thank you. I think that was about it. And I left our fuel at the same, 400,000. Just a week ago, it was all right. So I can't tell you, what's it going to be a week from now. So we're sitting all right on it as far as the next 3 months, I think. We'll see. Next, 654, vector control, no changes there. Vector is our mosquito killer. We're partnership with the city. We do all the spraying for the city of Roswell as well as Chaves County. They do reimburse us for that annually. What's next? Yeah, the capital outlay, I don't think we really need to discuss. That's taken care of. Thank you again. Our 437 line, which is our waste management, that was a significant increase. I budgeted $120,000 last year. I think I'm the 5th or 6th presenter this morning, and I think every person before me discussed the pandemic. It affected us too, in the sense that more people stay at home, which generated a lot more trash in the county. That's our only reasoning behind this. The $120,000 that we budgeted, we ran out of in March. So Annabelle's going to be doing a budget adjustment request next week for another additional $50,000, and I think that's what I raised the budget for next year. Chaves County is growing. Our And along with that comes more trash. We're in the process of making some changes to our waste management program that I think is really going to make a positive impact on the community. But it's not going to just be us. It's going to take the community's help also. I'm sure you're all aware of some of the issues that we have throughout the county on some of those. So I think that's about it. It's pretty simple this year. I'll stand for any questions.
Commissioners, any questions for Joe?
Mr. Chairman, Joe, thank you very much for all you do. I almost literally ran into one of your guys the other day coming back from Dexter. He was replacing signs, and I thanked him, told him to be safe because he was out and about. But thank you for replacing the signs. He was replacing our street sign and some stop signs, I guess, people use for target practice. I guess that's the latest thing instead of my mailbox. So on the waste, on the trash, what are we looking at for Midway just yet? Do you know yet?
We're looking at expanding. There's currently 2 compactors there with one in operation at all times. I wish there was some sort of a way to put a light on it to let the public know it does work.
It does.
Don't just throw your trash on the ground and that's all it takes.
Yeah.
So we're going to expand that site. We're going to put another unit in and another compactor. So there'll always be 2 operating compactors there. And we're looking at doing the same thing at Ojibwa site on Miller. At the
Okay.
south site, the north site has 4 compactors, 2 operating and 2 at Wiggins.
Okay. Now at Ojibwa, are you going to, I thought at one time we were going to do away with the open tops.
That's one of the changes that we're looking at making. That's why we're trying to expand with the compactors before we make those changes.
Okay, because I was there yesterday and they were pretty full.
Yes, ma'am.
And people were still dumping. And Midway, they dumped in Midway and the thing was not full at all. So yes, I think if we kind of expand in Midway and Ojibwa, that would hopefully help. I don't know. Like you said, I've noticed during the pandemic, trash was amazing. The
It went
TV
up quite a
boxes,
bit.
everybody used, I guess, their stimulus for TV boxes, so.
And mattresses.
Mattresses, yes, I've noticed that too, so. But thank you very much. That's part of what the taxpayers want to see is infrastructure and roads and our signage and things like that. So I really appreciate that. And I know we get dinged all the time for trash, but as I told one of my constituents, you can't legislate how people act. And we can't do that. We can provide what we provide. And I thank you very much for working with me to help alleviate some of these problems. Thank
Yes,
you
ma'am.
very
Thank you.
much. I appreciate it.
Commissioners, any other questions for Joe? Joe, do you think that funding that we normally get for the bus routes and stuff, do you think that's going to come back? It just hadn't been put in there, or you think it's gone for this year? Or?
I think it's gone for this year. There is another funding opportunity that came up. I emailed at the time when this decision was made, our CAP funding is decided out of Santa Fe. Co-op and school bus is decided by the local public engineer for District 2. At the time these decisions were made, Tim Parker, the previous engineer, had left the state. He was no longer there, so they had an interim. And this gentleman, Mr. Mata, was the one making the decision. So when we were notified, and it was on a Friday, of the offer from the NMDOT, I reached out to Mr. Mata and let Bill know, that there was an issue that we didn't get school bus funding. So the following week, I reached out to Mr. Mata to inquire as to why, and he said that, and this comes around every year, they always think there's going to be a windfall of money, and this year there wasn't. So they had to divide up the pie equally between all the entities within District 2, which is all of southeastern New Mexico, and that's why we didn't receive funding. I have not, since that time, DOT did hire a new engineer for that position, for the D2 engineer, and that was Francisco Sanchez. I have not had a chance to discuss it with him, but at this point, I don't think we'll get any more for the school bus, but probably about 2 weeks ago now, the DOT did release what's called a TPF, a Transportation Project Fund. That was the meeting that I had to rush off to after the finance meeting last week. and the deadline for that is tomorrow. I will be submitting some for that. It's kind of a good deal for the counties or for the entities that apply for it. LGRF, which is Cap Co-op and School Bus, is a 75-25 split. The county's portion being 25% of whatever the main project is. The TPF fund is 95-5. So the DOT paying the 95% part, we'll pay the 5% part. So the project I'm looking at is going to be between $250,000 $300,000. So our part will be around $15,000 for a project of that size. And that in the correspondence with Mr. Mata a month or so ago, when this all came up, he said that the people that don't get funding for LGRF are remembered when other opportunities come up. So I don't know if that was what he was referring to. We'll see. Hopefully.
Okay. Any estimates on when we might have Morindo completed?
Excuse me, Barindo?
Yeah.
Mr. Chairman, we're going to start Barindo. We're going to start chip sealing not next week, but the following week on the 24th, I believe.
Okay.
And Barindo's first on the list.
So maybe by the end of June?
It'll only take a couple of days to get it completed.
Okay.
So it'll be done that week.
Well,
barring
I'm just
any
giving you some
complications.
room when people are, I'll tell them it's done, it'll be done by the end of June.
Yes, sir, absolutely.
Okay, so maybe the end of May.
Unless it rains, and if it
Right.
rains, that's okay too.
Well,
So,
we've got our oil situation
yes, sir. For
figured
now,
out, okay.
We're good to go.
All right. Thanks, Joe.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Joe, in the past, I know that from time to time, DOT has hired your department to do work for them. Do you expect any of that coming up?
I don't expect that exact scenario. There's an issue that we're having on a road in East Grand Plains that we've been working on for 5 years, 6 years.
10
That
years.
part of, 10 years. Part of the issue is on a state part of the road, so we're gonna, contact them and see if we can do the work ourselves. That there's a state, it's not all the same road, but there's a state road that winds all the way through East Grand Plains. So, and I haven't had a chance to discuss this with Bill or Mac yet, but I'm afraid that if we offer to do the work ourselves in their right of way, they're gonna say, well, do you just want the road? Which isn't necessarily a bad thing, but that's a possibility. So,
Thank you.
yes, sir. That's it. Thank you.
Thanks, Joe.
Mr. Chairman, I guess we can have Daniel come up if you'd like and talk to us about detention.
Good morning, Mr. Chairman, Commissioners. The first couple things I want to say is I want to thank you guys for listening to me last week, Chairman Cavan and Commissioner Ezell. I want to thank Annabelle and Lucia for helping me with my budget on some questions and things that I had, as well as my staff, Amparo Schiaffino, Codis Harris, and Sarah Haberling. They really helped out a lot. Myself, the sheriff, and maybe a couple others in the audience, been with the county for quite a long time. I've been here 24 and a half years. Almost 24 of it was with the sheriff's office. I've been to numerous trainings throughout the state and in other states. And it all comes down to, does your commission support you guys? And as long as I've been here, the thing I can say is that the commission has always supported all the different departments and agencies. One of the most important things I think that we need to discuss here is my training budget. That's one thing that I really believe is our training budget. I did increase it by some. I'm a firm believer that effective staff training can improve consistency in operations, policies and procedures, promote staff confidence, professionalism, and improve morale. Me, as being the detention administrator, it's my job to assure that my staff is properly trained, your staff is properly trained, because these are all our employees. So that is why I'm requesting that training budget be approved. I'd also like to have our detention officers' chart and entry level adjusted due to us falling behind in the pay scale. As if you notice, right around the corner, at a local fast food restaurant, they're advertising $13 an hour. But I know we've discussed that, and it's going to be looked into in the near future, and I appreciate your cooperation in that. One other thing I would like to ask is, I'd like to request the chief of security position be reclassified to deputy administrator, which it used to be several years ago. This will be the number 2 position in the facility, and I do need it to be filled in the future. With that comes the salary on the position. I'm requesting that the position's salary be significantly higher than what the lieutenant's is. There has to be a differential and gap there. I've currently discontinued our administrative services position, and I'm willing to drop 2 corporate positions off of my line if I can get that cooperation. Again, I want to thank you for the capital outlay request that I have. I requested on the van. I appreciate that. It's something that we do need. And if there's any other questions, I did also increase on our 650 line budget regarding our kitchen, because there's some equipment in there that we do need to replace. So, any other questions? If you guys have any questions, I'm free to answer them.
Commissioners, any questions for Daniel?
Mr. Chairman, Daniel, how many officers are you down right now? As far
Right
as-
now?
Yeah,
19.
19 officers.
I had an officer get assaulted the other day. Got punched in the face. He got hurt pretty bad. I had 2 quit within the last couple of days.
Oh, dear. And how many are incarcerated right now? What is your capacity right now?
223, I believe.
223 right now. Thank you.
Commissioners, any other questions? Daniel, real quick, you're down 19. What's your top number if you had everybody hired out? 38, 40?
No, it would be approximately 70.
61?
I was going to say 74.
At your capacity?
Yes.
Right, okay.
Mr. Chairman, I do have another question then. Okay, if you're down 19 officers and you need 61 officers to be at full capacity, that's
Yes.
correct?
Yes, ma'am.
The number 2 position that you're asking for, what is this person going to be doing?
He's going to be the one making sure that a lot of the operations are being taken care of with me. He's in charge of the lieutenants, and it goes down, breaks down from there. We do have our accreditation coming up. We will be getting audited next month, and I think we're going to be doing great on that. That'll be our 3rd accreditation for the next 3 years.
Okay, seems to me our focus right now needs to be officers. But that's just me. Thank you.
Commissioners, anything else for Daniel? Daniel, thanks for taking this on and shoring things up out there at the correctional facility. And it's always a difficult task when you're shifting gears and changing leadership out there, and I think you're doing a great job with it, so thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Daniel.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Chairman, Commissioners, when Elise finishes, we'll ask the sheriff to come up and present, answer any questions.
All right. Good morning, Mr. Chairman, Commissioners. Appreciate you guys. For last week, I wasn't able to be here. I was I had some medical things that we had to get taken care of, but I had my undersheriff step in. I think he did a great job, and this budget was worked on by me, my Sheriff's Administrator Janet, and my Undersheriff Charles Eastless, and I think that what we presented was easily explained because we didn't ask for much more. Only the things that we truly needed, which is, as we go through this, we'll talk about each one, but I do appreciate what you guys have done for us. I appreciate the continued support, just like Joe said, the community also appreciates that because we have made a big impact on this community in law enforcement. Even though you look at the news right now, we've had a lot of shootings, we've had a lot of fights, we've had a lot of stabbings, but it is groups attacking groups, not as much the civilian population that aren't involved in that livelihood. So, but we're out there, we're working hard every day, and we appreciate everything that you've done for us. So, the first thing that I want to talk about is 751, which is our area of the Sheriff's Administration side. And if you look through there, we didn't have many things that we asked for in that one area, except for an increase in our subscription and publication, which is the law manuals. We went up about $1,500. The reason for that is because of all the new laws that have been changed. We have had an addition, and we're expecting to have more, but we have got to have an updated book for every deputy to be able to go through. You know, we can get online and do things, but there's times whenever my guys are in the field, it's easier to get into the book and look at it that way. So we went up in that price just because it's important everybody has one. Because if you look at the new law manual compared to the one just from even a year ago, it's completely different in some areas, so we had to do that. Also, if you go to one of the positions that I asked for under this, I know that right now we're going to look at going a different direction or waiting a while, but it's the IPRA records clerk. One of the reasons that we asked for this is because the IPRA has become overwhelming and time consuming. For every 1 hour of video is about 17 hours of man hour. That is, we have a great system for our camera, which is a VeilWeb, but to go in, you have to edit this thing slide by slide. You know, if you want to put a blur on somebody's face, I have to do it slide by slide. If not, when they move, the blur stays where we put it. It doesn't move with them. So it has to be gone over slide by slide. And here in the last month, actually about a month and a half, we've had 7 vehicles that ran for 15 hours straight on their videos because the investigation took that long and you can't turn the camera off during that time. And for 15 hours times 7 vehicles times the amount of time that it requires to go through that is overwhelming. And so these are things that, because of the new law for IPRA requests, but also for every deputy having a body camera, which I'm very thankful that you guys got us all body cameras. We're gonna be able to save this county a lot of money by being able to show that these allegations are false. And that's one of the things that I'm hoping the New Mexico Counties Association, the attorneys who are handling these cases, watch the videos before they want to settle out. Because the settling out is killing me in my budget because you'd rather pay $5,000 or $7,000 than to fight it, and that's money that it wasn't put into my budget. So it takes away from other things. So we have to be able to review these videos, and if it is our fault, we'll take it. But there's a lot of times in the past that we can 100% say that it was not our fault. There was no reason to settle out, and we settled, and it cost us out of my budget for that. And thanks to Annabelle and Finance and you as well, we were able to keep that from really causing my department harm. So we thank you for that. But under this IPRA request, like I said, it is something that we're going to have to look at. We appreciate you listening to us on it. And we can't predict what the future has, but I can tell you with the laws that are being put into place, there's going to be a lot of IPRA requests because people are looking for an easy dollar because they think the county's going to settle right off the bat. And so we just can't be in that position. So I want to move on to 752. So under 752, we did ask for a couple other things, but one of the things that I want to explain is the increase in fuel. Right now with the state of New Mexico and the United States of America trying to go to wind rather than fossil fuel, gas has gone up. And because gas has gone up, and I don't expect it to come down, I expect it to continue to rise, our fuel costs are going to go way up. We right now are averaging about 55,000 miles a month. And if you do that times the math, we're going to be, and that's at $2.76 a gallon. And I have no doubt that come summertime, it's going to be $3, if not closer to $4. Because we just came back from, as we want to call it, our parent-teacher conference there in Hobbs with our cadets at the academy there. And as we were driving through Hobbs, we looked out, all the oil pumps, all the pump jacks are stopped. There's none running. So gas is going to go up on us. And it's very important for us to have that extra money in there and to be prepared for an increase in fuel because our cars don't run on air. So next thing is the $34,500 for the Hobbs Academy. We have chosen to pay to go to the Hobbs Academy rather than to Santa Fe for free because the quality of training is truly 100 times better. It's 100% better. The quality of officer coming out of Hobbs is just much better, and we've seen it, we know it, and there's just some turmoil going on right now at the Santa Fe Academy that they're trying to fix, but the Hobbs Academy is running smoothly, and our guys are actually learning how to be law enforcement officers as well as community relations. They're doing both, so that's a good thing for us. So that's the why we are choosing to go that way rather than through the academy in Santa Fe. Let me just turn these pages here real quick. And then the last thing that we asked for and that you guys have approved or looking to approve is the desk deputy for the Chaves County Sheriff's Office. The reason for this is, one, it's going to give a deputy the ability to be in this side of the Chaves County complex. Every hour I expect him or her to make rounds throughout this county building. And And one of the things that we can say is since this craziness has all started, we have seen more and more people think that our governor is located in this building. You know, they believe that the decisions that are being made is government. And because this is a government complex, they believe that we have the same beliefs and we are enforcing the same things. And we're getting people here who are not happy. We have an influx of homeless people who want to come in out of the weather or do whatever they're doing. I just want to sit in our nice furniture out here, whatever it may be. But we've also had some people who've come in who are not happy with the county, and they're just going to go into whatever office is closest and cause problems. So by having that deputy walking through the building, we will have somebody on site throughout the business hours of the Chaves County Sheriff's Office. This will become a district. So right now I have districts that my patrol deputies work out in the county. This is also a district. So they'll come to briefing, they'll sit down, they'll be assigned a district, and this will be one of them. And that means they will sit at the front. They will do all walk-in calls that come in. This keeps from us having to pull a deputy from the valley to handle a person who just came in from the valley wanting to file a report. We used to call the person all the way up from the valley. They'd come in, they'd do the report, and then they would go back to the valley. And now this is just going to simplify that, because if there's a big scene somewhere, there is no deputies in this building. There's none. And so we want to change that, especially with going to the emergency buttons and the panic buttons and everything else. We want to have access to deputies immediately. So that's one of the reasons that we're doing that. So we appreciate that, and that's going to be out of 752. And then the last thing that we deal with is the LEPF money, which is under 753. Under the LEPF money, one of the most difficult things that we've had to deal with throughout this budget is the LEPF this year, because everything changed. You had to go in, get things situated through the academy, show who's certified, show who's not certified. And because they are in such turmoil in Santa Fe, things were hard to prove or not prove. And so it took a lot of time. So we got the LEPF. We didn't have anything really increase other than the number of certified deputies that we had, which gave us more money. And so that's where we're at. Also, the transport van. You guys gave us, not under the LEPF, but I didn't mention this earlier in the other one. The transport van, we need the big transport van to take people to DOC, to the prisons. Because not only are we hauling 6 or 7 or 8 of these individuals, we're also having to haul their luggage. So anything that they have that was booked in or they have acquired while they've been at the jail, we have to transport that as well. And so we need the big transport van as well. So with that, that's pretty much the only changes that we have asked for. And like I said, I appreciate you. I appreciate Annabelle and Finance for helping us get through all this and helping us throughout the year. This has been one crazy year. Budgets are blown in some areas because, like you said, you had some people who had to go out because of this illness or this sickness or whatever they want to call it. And during that time, we had other people who were worked to death. Right? So we've got a lot of things going on. So do you have any questions of me?
Commissioners, any questions for Mike?
Mr. Chairman, I have a few. Mike, how many officers are you down right now?
Right now, we're down 6 officers, but I have 4 that we are in the process of, we have 3 of them that are with Susan now to be sent for the psychological, and we have 1 in the background. stage, and we should have before June or July, we should have the other 2 positions as well.
Okay. How many officers usually patrol the valley right now?
Right now, it's 1.
Just 1?
Yeah.
Okay.
But what we've done is, with the increased number of deputies that are getting ready to come back from the academy, as well as what we're looking to hire, there will be 2 deputies in the valley. 1 in the Duncan area as well.
Okay. The desk deputy that you're asking for, will they be able to be out too, or is he just going to be totally
No,
here?
he or she will be assigned at this time, unless all heck breaks loose. He's going to be here in this building and doing all walk-ins, and we get a lot of walk-in calls all day, and then anything that happens within the building. But my vision is that they will walk this building every hour.
But they will be able to be out, they will be fully trained to be out if needed?
Oh, no, they're going to be certified deputies, yes. They're going to be fully trained. And this is not going to be the new individual that the position is. Let's say we just get somebody who has no experience that we hire to do this. This is going to be an assigned position of certified guys. So it's never, every day may be a different deputy. So that's important for us as well. Takes away, we don't want anybody to become complacent. That's why we change districts out on the street as well.
Okay. Thank you.
Sure.
Commissioners, anybody else?
Mr. Chair,
Commissioner Zoll.
I just want to reiterate what you correctly said when you first got up to the podium, when you thanked Charles Eastless for his performance in your absence. I unfortunately had reason to interact with your department the end of last week and through the weekend. And Charles, thank you. You did a great job.
Yes. Well, I appreciate that, and that's what I expect from all of my guys, and that's why he's the undersheriff. So it works good. So thank you.
Well, Mike, and I'll just, to Commissioner Dana's, kind of question about having somebody here on site. I've been here in numerous times at this particular stage where we've had people that are walking through the building, going into offices and doing things. And of course, our treasurer had somebody that tried to rip the door open and go in through the side door. And so I think it's important that we have somebody that's on site and not having to call someone in off the street that takes 10 minutes to get here, because we are in a different environment today as government officials, and so it's important to, and with our behavioral health issues that we have going on. I mean, too many times we have people that are coming in, get out of the cold, but they go in to use the bathrooms and things like that to do whatever.
Right.
So it's going to be a good thing to have someone that's located on site.
Absolutely. Mr. Chairman, Commissioners, one of the things too that we had the guy try to drive up the courthouse steps, and one of the things that is scary to me is how easily that vehicle almost made it to the top. We have other buildings within our county that you can just drive through right through the front door. And people right now believe that the government is corrupt, that there's a lot of problems, and they don't like us. And for me, the one thing that we don't want to ever have happen is not be prepared for the day that's going to come. And I truly believe that during today's times, things are happening that I never believed would happen, or thought I would see during my lifetime. So we've got a complete there is no respect for law enforcement, there is no respect for government, there is no respect for people. And because of that, they are doing many things that are going to cause us harm, and so we have to be prepared for that. And I'm glad that you, as commissioners, all see that that is a reality as well.
Well, one of our conversations, and I think that we'll be addressing that here very soon in this near future, is that we will be putting up some barriers
Absolutely.
to protect some type of vehicular entry into this
Yeah.
building.
Target has them.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, yeah, so,
We'll wait till they're on sale.
Yeah, that's right. No, what I'm saying is that the big concrete
yeah. Well, for
balls in the
time
front,
being-
they
For the time being, if you can park the MRAP up there.
absolutely. So, Chairman, Commissioners, you know, like I said, people in our area truly do support us. And our surrounding counties all stick together, and we have a great relationship with them. And I just want to tell you thank you, because as me and the undersheriff are on our way to a sheriff's conference in Reno, Sunday. So we'll be there, and I'm going to tell you, they don't have the same support that we do. The Western States Conference does not have the same support. And so when we go there, we get to see how truly blessed we are here in Chaves County. So we thank you.
We expect you guys to be back by Thursday for our regular meeting.
No, I will have Detective Lieutenant Mike Ray here for you. So that will be good. But no, he's got it under control. So thank you very much.
Anything else? Thanks, Mike.
All right,
Appreciate
thank
you guys. You guys be safe out there.
Mr. Chairman, I hate to put him on the spot, but I see Dick's getting up to leave, and I thought he might like to come up and give us just a real quick overview of what Flood is going to do this year.
Thank you. I won't take much of y'all's time. I just got a couple of things that, I need your approval on as the fiscal agent for the Flood Commission. We've got a 613 scraper. That's a 10-yard scraper, and it's 10 years old, and it's wore out, and we want to replace it with a 623. The problem is the cost. It's quite expensive. It's $790,000, and we're afraid to just go purchase it outright, because if something happens, then we're out of money. And we have to depend on that tax money coming in twice a year. So what we're proposing is, and the Caterpillar is willing to give us a trade-in of $159,000. And then we would like to, I guess, Susan's not here today.
Over there.
Or Susan is, wrong person. Anyway, we make a lease payment for 5 years, and then make a balloon payment of $368,000, and it's $115,000 a year, and we feel like we can afford that. And the scraper we have is a good one, and like I say, they're going to give us a $159,000 trade-in. I don't know if county's ever done that before. If they are, I'm not aware of it, so it's something new. I know we've had leases on.
Don't give Joe any ideas.
Well, anyway, I know we've leased maintainers before, y'all have. So that was all I had. Plus, we had one guy. We have 2 part-time employees, and one of them got sick and had to quit. So we're asking for half a person to add to the staff. Replace that half-time with full-time. And that's it. And
Commissioners, any questions for Dick?
I'm getting off easy.
No, you're not.
And how much is that lease a year, Dick?
The lease is $115,000.
Okay.
That's rounded off. It's $114 something.
Thank you.
Okay. I'm stalling a little bit to get Sandra here into the room, but
She's walking in, so.
just,
There she is.
Yeah.
She's got all the details.
right. So let's talk about that scraper real quick, and then I want to talk.
Okay.
So Sandra, you have some information for us that Dick was kind of trying to solidify the scraper deal that we're looking at, or that he's looking at for the flood?
Yes, good morning. It's a trade-in. They're going to receive some credit on trade-in, and the rest for 5 years. I don't know.
The lease,
How much
a
is
lease for 5 years?
It's a lease for 5 years. yeah.
Okay,
With a 300,000 balloon.
Yeah, 368,000.
okay,
Yes, sir.
good.
I just received the paperwork, and we're working on that.
Okay, well, Dick was kind of looking for you to kind of explain some of that stuff, so any questions for Sandra on this?
On this lease, what is the buyout at the end of the 5 years, or will we own it at the end of 5 years of the lease payments?
If we make the balloon payment, yeah. And that's what we're planning on doing.
It's a 7.
It's 340, what was it, Dick? 340 something thousand?
368,000.
368,655. Yeah, purchase option, yes, at the end of the 5 year.
And it will be ours. We plan on, of course, using it a lot longer than 5 years.
Right.
What we got, it's 10 years.
Yes.
Mr. Chairman, Commissioners, Dick Smith and Vera did come to speak to
Sure.
Sandra and I before they submitted their budget. And so we looked at their fund balance and the projections for the next couple of years. And so upon discussion, we decided that the lease would be a better option at this point. As you're aware, they had that big, beautiful building out on Brown Road, so they just got over that construction right now. And so that's the reason why we decided to go with the lease for now.
Makes sense.
Yep, it does. Okay, Sandra, thank you. Dick?
Thank you.
Sure.
Real quick, I know that you were just talking about employees and someone's sick, and you're looking at hiring someone else. And I know that your right-hand person out there is probably fixing to retire here soon. Have you got someone lined up to train up and to?
Unfortunately, we're all getting old. And
It's a fact of life.
I've been there 26 years, and I guess I'll stay around a while, but
It's a good thing.
we could have a couple of guys going out.
Okay.
And of course, we'll have funds for the staff, that we have.
Well, hopefully
I
we'll.
can't believe there's this much work for dries this week. I'm surprised that they don't do away with me.
Well, hopefully we'll get some good folks in there that you can train up and put us in a good position in the future.
Yeah,
But you're
we've got
great.
a good crew. We've
You're
got a
greatly
good bunch.
appreciated, and your knowledge and experiences. You can't get it anywhere else. So, thank you for all you do.
Thank you, guys. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dick.
Mr. Chairman, I think we're probably ready to go to individual department presentations, and if it's acceptable, we'll start on the east side and move to the west. If there's anyone here that would like to speak, and I see Charlotte is here, and I'm ask her to come forward.
Good morning, Mr. Chairman, Commissioners. The Treasurer's Office has the flat budget this year. We had maybe a few lines that we increased, and that's only due because the price increases for our equipment agreements. I did request one additional personnel Right now, we have a staff of 5 that includes myself, my chief deputy treasurer, 2 deputy treasurers, and a senior accountant. As of yesterday, I'm going to be down to 4 people. The detention center is going to be taking one of my most senior employees, and she's going to be a really valuable asset for the detention center. And we wish her well in that endeavor. So that's going to leave us down to 4 people. Our tax roll every year exceeds 34 million per year. Right now, we are currently at 90. Our collection rate is 94% as of today. We've collected 32 million. We have 2 million outstanding. That is really good for this time of year. For our second half collections, we have not been impacted by the pandemic. Our collections have been going. The issue that we are having is, as we've continued to improve services to the public, we have been spreading our staff pretty thin. This in turn will eventually affect internal audit controls as well as our statute requirements in meeting those. And I think there's a misconception that the treasurer's office is only busy, during our collection periods, but it's actually all year round that we build up towards that collection period. And we've included additional modules online for the assessor and also planning and zoning. So we're having to reconcile those payments every day. And each of my staff has assigned duties that they are responsible for every day. In addition, we have opened up a drive-up window to help, with the seniors, so they don't have to walk in, as well as, the physically challenged to come in. We are spread very thin. We maintain, our high collection rate. Our 10-year average is over 99%. But I just want to emphasize that we are being spread very, very thin. We have 4 payment counters up at the front, plus now the drive-up window. We have had 1 employee that has been out on an extended medical leave. With the loss of that senior personnel in 2 weeks and her taking off, that's going to be down to 3 people. Myself, a deputy treasurer, and also the senior accountant. We are all working the counters. We are all servicing the window. And we are getting to a point where we are jeopardizing our internal audit controls. There should be separation of duties, but with this limited staff, we're each having to multitask. So I'm asking for 1 entry-level position that would be responsible for servicing the window, as well as making an aggressive effort to bring in our delinquent accounts. Currently, every year, and I do have a graph for you, every year we send anywhere from $44,000 to $80,000 to the state. This is the delinquent penalty and interest that we collect once a year. Once an account reaches a 2-year delinquency, we are basically collecting that P&I for the state. That's pretty good chunk of change, and I think that would be a source of covering the expense of adding another personnel. We work nonstop all throughout the year, and like I said, we work collaboratively with the assessor's office. There is a timeline on when we have to get everything done by statute, and we're just asking for 1 more body to help us get that done. We will have to hire to replace the person that's going to the detention center, but we'd like an additional person to help us meet our needs. With that, Mr. Chairman, Commissioners, I will stand for any questions that you may have.
Commissioners, any questions for Treasurer?
Do you have somebody in mind for the one that Daniel stole?
No, actually, that came in as a surprise yesterday. She's one of our most senior staff. We do have 2 senior staff personnel, and I have 3.5 years left on my term. At that time, the other most senior personnel is eligible for retirement. That's going to leave 2 people there in the office that currently have experience. We would like to go ahead and replace the vacancy, as well as add an additional person to be ready for the next treasurer and subsequent treasurers, and make sure that they have a fully trained staff to meet the requirements. You know, the treasurer's office collects 34% of the operating revenues for the county and 18% of the total revenues for the county. I think that's worthy of bringing in one more person to cover those additional duties so that we maintain our high collection rate.
Mr. Chairman,
Commissioner Taylor.
I would imagine that you have a peak time in the fall and in the spring for about a month. What about a temporary person just for that period of time instead of a full-time person all year round?
Mr. Chairman, Commissioner Taylor, we did have a temporary person come in when we had someone out on maternity leave. She was here for approximately 6 weeks, and it was someone that was previously employed by the treasurer's office, and she was a very valuable asset at that time. She was able to jump in and help cover. She is no longer interested in doing that, so you know there is a lot of training that would be required. I would be willing to add a part-time staff, but we definitely need the help. We're having to cover each other and stagger lunches so that there's always, we always have to have 2 people because of audit requirements. We have to have 2 people in the office because of the cash flow that we have in there. And I can't emphasize enough, you know, what the need is. And, you know, I would like to show you a graph. This is the money that we're sending to the state every year. In addition to the auctions that we have every year, we lose that penalty and interest. Oh, and she has it up there. So you can see every year, you know, we're losing all of these, all of the P&I plus the state costs. Once an account becomes 2 years delinquent, we have to tack on and flag each of those delinquent accounts with a $125 fee. That goes directly to the state. And every month, we have to send them a check. And you can see the totals that we have been sending on an annual basis. This is more than sufficient to cover an additional person. That person would also, like I said, would be responsible for handling aggressively the delinquent accounts prior to them being listed on the list that we send to the state. That's going to reduce the amount of money that we're sending them, and we'll be able to keep it here in the county.
Commissioners, anything else? So, Charlotte, if for the time being, if we can at least get you established with some part-time assistance during those 4 months, 2 months, 2 months, is that going to be something that will be helpful for the time being?
Mr. Chairman, there is a timeline, there is a process to get us to those collection periods. So the help would be needed throughout the year. If it was part-time, that would even be helpful. You know, we have to make sure that we file liens for mobile home delinquencies with the state. We have to report on a monthly basis to our state property tax division. So a part-time would get us through, but respectfully, I would request that it be, you know, for the entire year. Once we replace that, I mean, we are really, I can't emphasize enough how bad we are drowning with having to cover everything that we're doing. We're improving the services. We've the services that we're providing to our taxpayers, and you know, being responsible for that much in property taxes. You know, I would hope that would be justification enough to bring in even just a part-time. That would be helpful. Like I said, I have 3.5 years. My senior staff will be retiring around that time, and you know, you really need to have someone in there that can, you know, hit the ground running and continue the services that we provide.
Well, I think the good thing, if we get there, if we started with the part-time person and found their value, that could be something that grows into that full-time position that you're really wanting. And I'm hoping that you have maybe some leads. I know this is a day after finding out that you're losing someone to the correctional facility, but hopefully you might have somebody out there that you can start making phone calls and making some requests for people to apply. I mean, obviously, we have to take applications for these positions, but hopefully you have some people that you can encourage to apply. And you never know, you might have somebody who comes in and is someone that can be trained up, that's young and is coming out of college, or somebody of Lucia or Annabelle's stature that can be ready to be the next treasurer for Chaves County.
Well, Mr. Chairman, that would be ideal, but, it's an entry-level position at the very bottom of the chart. We have excellent staff right now. We brought in someone a couple of years ago, and she just excelled at, covering all of the duties and learning, and we're hoping that we find someone. I did talk to Susan yesterday about advertising as soon as possible so that we could get someone on board as soon as possible, but that additional part-time staff would be a tremendous help, especially we hired them at the same time. If we were able to hire them around the same time and do the training simultaneously with both, that would be really, really helpful.
Okay. All right. Anybody else? Mr. Bilberry, you have anything? No. Okay. Okay.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ms. Charlotte.
So, Mr. Chairman, Commissioners, as y'all know, evaluating staffing needs and compensation is something that Susan does an exceptional job on. She's been working on how the county should probably move forward in some of these areas, and I'd like to ask her to come up next and give you an overview and answer any questions you might have on that.
Morning, Chairman, Commissioners. So, yeah, I have in my budget this year requested a professional salary survey be done. It can be up to $20,000 to do that. But I feel that we need to do this. We have minimum wage that we're just not meeting in some, like the road department. We're close on detention, as Daniel said. Right down the street, we have restaurants offering $13 an hour, so with bonuses to work in fast food. So it's hard to compete. You may even want to consider holding off on doing a couple of the upgrades until we finish the survey. So, but that's up to you guys if you have any questions.
Commissioners, any questions for Susan?
Okay, thanks.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I see that Lewis is here, and he's got some exciting new plans for us.
Louis, before you get started, do you think that Chaves County is going to be over 64,000 people in this census coming up?
Yes, I believe so.
What's your estimate, just off the top of your head?
66 and a half, possibly.
So that's a better figure than what UNM is saying.
Correct. UNM is using.
Would you share that with the Department of Health?
Please.
Yeah, I still can't figure out where the Department of Health gets their number from, because that still isn't what the census estimated for the 2019 figures that they did. Yet,
those figures are coming from UNM.
yeah, but it doesn't make any sense when you compare it to other counties where their numbers have gone up or down. We've tried to figure it out, and it makes no sense. That's their voodoo math that they do in Santa Fe.
Right. Thank you for helping me feel more comfortable about what our population is going to be when this is all over with, because 64,000 is not.
No, not
realistic.
Even realistic. Chairman, Commissioners, thank you for having me this morning. For the most part, our budget is still flat, with the exception of, similar to what Mike was explaining, that we do expect gasoline to go up. Also, there are 4 members or 4 staff members in my department. 3 of us carry a number of certifications that require continuing education. We are fulfilling those through virtual classes. However, they do expect us to return back to normal classes in 2022.
So our budget does increase a little bit on that side. Also, the largest increase on my budget is the additional $50,000 that I'm asking for to begin the process of cleaning up abandoned, neglected properties. These properties are an issue with Chaves County in a number of areas throughout Chaves County. This will help us deal with transients that continue to light fires and burn properties and have bonfires at night that consist of homes that were left abandoned. Mike would be the first to tell you it helps. What we're finding is that these properties don't have a clear ownership. And so it does take me time to find the heirs of these properties and contact them, and then begin the condemnation process. This $50,000 would help with clearing the property, dumping, and also any legal fees that may be necessary. The reason we look at contracting out this kind of service and rather than in-house is that there are a number of insurance issues that we got to be concerned with. These contractors have to carry at least $1 million in insurance, we hope. Sandra's working with me greatly on this. We're going to do an RFP, make sure all of these people are certified, make sure that all of it is clear. We have to be concerned with utility services and making sure we don't have anything still on when they go to clear property and something goes up. We got to make sure the property lines are clear, that we don't disturb any of the neighbors' properties and anything that may cause us more fees. So hiring a contractor and getting all that clear with them is important. I believe this is a good starting point with the $50,000, being that this is a norm. There are a number of contractors that will be available, we believe. Custom construction. The other one is construction, a contractor company that normally does streets out of Carlsbad. These people are already doing it throughout this area, through southeastern New Mexico, and we hope to utilize them with this RFP. On our capital outlay project, the only thing we have, again, we have a split cost for the Eagle View pictometry, which we share with the assessor's office. These were beautiful pictures that came out on February 6th of 2021. They have assisted us in a number of enforcement issues, so they are greatly needed. And we continue to pay those for the next 2 years, at which time we may come back to you and ask for an additional flyover and funds. We are going to be, or myself, are going to be presenting those Eagle View program to Dexter, Hagerman, and Roswell in hopes that in 2 years, when this is done, they'll pitch in on this and it'll cost us a lot less.
Commissioners, any questions for Louis?
Mr. Chairman, I do have a question, just out of curiosity's sake. Are you working on updating anything with the new marijuana laws
Yes.
that are coming into place?
There is a small increase for publications and printing. That is going to be something that we are going to have to address, along with wind energy, along with the P&Z zoning ordinance all by itself. Rural addressing we need to readdress. So yes, there are a number of issues. We recently received the ICC building code recommendations for dealing with marijuana facilities. So that's been a big help with myself and Brian and our new employee when they do arrive. That will help us in understanding the categories that they put these in. We have commercial, we have hazard, and a lot of it depends on the product that they use, the alcohol they use, how much they're processing, the leaching into the walls, and then when they stop and they leave, what's it going to do? Are we going to require them to pull the walls down? Because what we find is that a lot of these are stucco, or drywall absorb so much smoke or so much product, and then when you stop doing that, it releases it because it wants to balance. So you still have that issue. So we do have to address those kind of things.
What about water issues when this comes into place?
That is something we will all have to sit down and talk about and figure out how that's going to work, along with septic issues that are occurring. We have grown significantly here in Chaves County. 2 years ago, I ordered 200 pieces of steel signposts. I'm down to 2 in 2 years. And this cost of steel has increased by 3 times the amount, as I found out yesterday. So I am scrambling to find what is left in the area, in the surrounding area. I have been able to succeed in finding some now, and with the help of Annabelle, I've been able to transfer some money over so I can purchase those now without increasing my rural addressing budget for next year.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you, Louis.
Commissioners, any other questions for Louis? Louis, to Commissioner Dana's question on what we have in front of us as far as legalization of marijuana, have you gotten any type of indication from the state if they're going to limit the amount of people who can grow the marijuana? I know we have one grow here in Chaves County right now, but is there going to be a limit, or are we going to have 15 or 20 people setting up shop to grow? I'm not talking about just the selling of it. I'm talking about the actual growing and production of it, like we have out at the end of Hobson Road.
Yeah, that's something we'll definitely sit down and look at. The health department has made a statement that the regulations that they are going to have to write for recreational marijuana will be much more detailed than the medical. There were a lot of issues that they had not foreseen in what they had in the medical. And they are actually trying to get ahead of that with recreational. This is going to be a battle between the governor's April 2022 deadline and the health department's rush to actually get this document done. So it's not just going to be a simple copy of what the health department or medical marijuana is. It's going to be a rewrite. Those are the ones that we really begin to follow, if I believe so, Mr. Rizzo, Commissioner Rizzo. Those are the restrictions that they put in. So much you can grow, who can grow it, who can distribute it, education facilities, growing facilities. I think there were 13 different categories they had of different facilities or different issues that we were going to have to address.
Okay.
It's still wide open.
Right. Well, let me just say, if you haven't developed a good relationship with the city of Roswell's planning and zoning and in our smaller communities, now is time to make sure that we create that relationship, because we need to all be playing, once again, off the same sheet of music when it comes to this stuff. Can't have one of us doing this, one of us doing that. It's got to be a concerted effort.
Right. I think one of the great things that California has taught us is that, for a number of cities, is that we can look at a density restriction as far as countywide by working with the municipalities. But we have to have it reasonable, yet explainable and understandable, so that we're not over restrictive, yet we're not under restrictive or overrun. So
There's
there are
pesky due process raising its ugly head again.
Yes.
All right. Commissioners, anything else for Louis? Appreciate you. You got your work cut out for you.
Thank you, Chairman. Thank you, Commissioners.
Mr. Chairman, I don't know if we have any other people who would like to present. We have a couple people from the other end of the building, but I don't believe they want to step forward today. I would like to quickly cover the facility maintenance budget. It's pretty much a flat budget with the exception of we've included an additional $29,000 for a special project, and that would take care of the barricades that are necessary both for safety and security of our employees, as well as the COVID requirements that have reared up over the last year. So the clerk's office got a grant and paid for theirs last year. We're ready to move forward. They look real good. What's been installed at the clerk's office, we'd like to do something similar in the other departments. And so we put in a factor of $29,000 for that based on what was spent there and how we think we're going to have to move forward with the other departments. The other portions of the maintenance budget are pretty easy. I do want to say that I'm glad that Mac is here. We're going to be replacing the facility maintenance director, and Mac has got so much experience with facility maintenance and improvements that we're glad he's here. He's going to be able to help us move forward in those areas.
Introducing me again, this is really
Yes.
his first public appearance.
A drum roll, please. Mac Rogers is our new public services director. This is his second week. Is that correct? Yeah, okay. Second week here at the county, and he's jumped in with both feet, working on some projects already, and look forward to making sure that we stay where we need to stay. One of the things he's working on currently, because I know we're all concerned about the possibility of a priority water call, and the necessity is always there to conserve water and to save water, but we as a county want to move forward that way and make sure that our irrigation of our lawns and whatnot does not waste water, and he's working on that currently to make sure we're good there. The only two lines are several different budgets within the facility maintenance department, but each one of them have a 230 and a 257 line. The 230 line is when we do repairs in-house and we need to buy materials or stock materials. The 230 line covers that. Those are all, I believe, at the same numbers as last year. And the 257 line is where if we don't have the staff to do it or we're covered up with something, that's where we hire outside vendors to do that. And all those numbers are pretty flat and the same. Like I said, I believe the only real increase other than things that we couldn't control, such as workers' comp, is the improvements to the building with the barriers in each department. Thank you.
Commissioners, any questions for Bill on the facility maintenance?
Mr. Chairman, I have a question. We're talking about barriers and stuff. Is there any way, I don't want to see the big red target balls. Is there any way of maybe making some art or something?
That's a very good question, because I couldn't agree with you more. We have been talking about, we need to, and the barriers I spoke of in the budget this year is the barriers within the departments, the glass barriers and the storefront doors to keep people out. But as far as in front of the building, we've been looking at the need to replace a lot of the concrete is spalled and broken and the trees have pushed it up. There's a couple of trees that have died and we need to rework the front of the building. And my thought is exactly that. We kind of hide as much as we can of any kind of barricades that will take away from the great look of this building. And maybe we can figure out ways to maybe work them into the landscape so there's a bush there that kind of covers it up. But when someone as foolish as the fellow who, dumber than anyone else here in the last 110 years, decides they're going to crash into the building, they're going to have a big surprise when they hit some bush or something. So I hope that answers your question, but we have given that some thought, and we don't want it to be an eyesore, but we absolutely have to protect our staff and our buildings.
You had said that the county clerk's office paid for their out of a grant. Do we have any more PPE grant or anything that we can apply for the rest?
Mr. Chairman, Commissioner Dana, excuse me, the grant that the clerk's office obtained was from the Center Civic for Life, if I'm correct, Cindy. And so that was to cover most of the election costs as well as expenses that the clerks had. In regards to the CARES grant, of course, we are fully expended that. In regards to any other grants, we don't, except for the American Rescue Plan that we anticipate receiving. So that will be into consideration with the Finance Committee as well as the committee we form to figure a plan for those funds. So in regards to that, that could probably be one is the barriers that County Manager was referring to the departments. We could probably expend that out of there.
Okay. I was just kind of, I know they keep throwing money out there, and we need to be creative and.
Yes, and they were
So-
actually pretty vague on the guidelines of that.
Okay.
However, 2 days ago, they dropped a 141-page book on it, so we're still kind of going through that and seeing what we could do with it.
Really?
Yes. I have it printed, it's this
Is
big.
that, did you get it electronically?
No, yes, there is a website, and I will make sure to forward that over to you. It is a PDF, but it's about 141 pages in detail.
Mr. Chairman, Commissioners, another thing along the line of the rescue funds that are here, we're beside ourselves that for the next 100 years, our children, our grandchildren, whatever, are going to be paying for these funds and for these handouts that we're doing now. One of the things that Chaves County would like to do, as you know, we're required to provide a health department to our community, and we have, and that building is aging. One of the things we are trying to figure out ways to do is to work within the guidelines of the Rescue Act Fund and utilize those funds to hopefully build a new building or to certainly be a large portion of taking care of a new building. All of the stuff that the Rescue Act is for pandemic response, for COVID stuff, for improved access for community, for mental health care. The list goes on and on. We went through it and started highlighting all the things. We've talked with the health department already, and we're working towards maybe creating a building, so there'll be something left. 2 years from now, people are going to say, oh yeah, I remember we got a little bit of money for our business or whatever. But will there be anything lasting? And that's one thing that we want to do is come up with a way that we will have a lasting contribution to our community since we're going to be paying for it for the rest of our lives. So.
Anything else for Bill? So, Annabelle, Bill, barriers outside, Mac, might spend some time talking with Miss Rita in the back of the room. I've seen, but I've seen in different places some large planters that have been put up as barriers, and that may be something that you can put in for a grant or something from Homeland Security or one of our other federal entities to protect this facility. So anyway, great job. Appreciate all the, once again, you guys got your work cut out for you. And Mac, if Rita hasn't already come in and sat down and introduced herself to you, make sure that you take that opportunity. So, anyway, all right. Thanks, Bill.
You're welcome. Mr. Chairman, I believe that concludes our departmental presentations. If there's anything else you'd like from us, we're happy to answer those questions.
Mr. Chairman, may I just take a privilege? There's one other entity I think that is vital and keep Chaves County beautiful. I do want to call on Ms. Rita because that is something that we're kind of out there. And I want you to come up and kind of give us a little bit of a rundown because I know it is a grant program and everything, but it is part of Chaves County.
No, she can't speak.
Rita Kane Dorhofer. I am the treasurer of Keep Chaves County Beautiful. We already have written our grant. Hopefully we'll know tomorrow if we get the grant. We can move some money over from one area to another. We may be able to do that for barriers. That was a good idea. We don't know if we're going to get our mural. We have asked for $16,000 to do a mural of Chaves County, not of Roswell, but what Chaves County has to offer. I have been in touch with Mac. Elise had to be in there to protect Mac from me. So we can work together. If you find any grants, let us know, because Sean and I write grants. We are here to help Chaves County. When Monday morning, when that man ran up the stairs on Saturday, we were with I saw Robert over there, and I gave him gloves, asked him if he needed anything, and then Monday morning, I marched myself right into Mac's office. Bill wasn't there to protect him, but I said that we are there for anything that you need. If you need grass seed, if you need filler, that is what we do. This is beautification. We have moved some trees over to the Joy Center because I don't think that the water is there. We have paid $2,300 and some odd dollars in water, or supplies for the water for the trail. That we can do. I don't know if we can buy barriers, but the beautification of the front of this building, we hopefully will get that $5,000 tree grant. We already put $500 towards a huge tree at the courthouse. If you want to keep it there, fine. If not, I mean, that tree is huge. And it would be a good investment maybe to put it here, not on the trail, but put it here. Anything that you need, Keep Chaves County Beautiful is here to help you. And we will help you with Cumberland Park on Sunday. I have a group of volunteers that will weed and will do water out there. But what else, Commissioner Dara, do you think that we could possibly, and by the way, you notice we have never asked you for any money. We have never come up here and asked you to fund us for something. We are all volunteers. Sean and I, hundreds of hours, and we are volunteers. Our entire board are volunteers. We don't get paid anything to help Chaves County because this is what we believe in. We believe in helping where we can, what we can do to promote Chaves County. Is there anything that you have? Oh, by the way, thank you, Commissioner Dara, for going over to the greenery. Oh, and yes, George has gone over to the greenery, but you helped us plant with Main Street Roswell. Whenever we go out, we have our trash cans, and they say, keep Chaves County beautiful all over them, and we provide trash bags, unlike, well, never mind. But is there anything else that you want to ask of us?
Were you able to plant at the Joy Centers?
Well, we've got the 3 trees. I let Martha know. First I went in there and I talked to Mac. Well, Mac listened very well when I said that we were pulling 3 of the trees. We have 7 trees left that go around the trail, but we have pulled those trees and they are going to the Joy Center. Also, thanks to Annabelle paying attention, so we're not doing anything that we are not supposed to be doing. That big plant is not going to go to facility maintenance because I don't know if anybody will be there watering it. It will go to the Joy Center. As a matter of fact, as soon as this meeting is over, George is going to put it in my vehicle, and on my way home, I will go to the Joy Center, present it to them, and take pictures of me presenting it, and it will go out to Midway. Why Midway? They like me in Midway. I like Midway. I deal very well with Midway. And we do need to get, I think we can also buy some weed killer because the fire station needs the weeds to be killed. But I can only do so much as soon as I get the key to the water house. As soon as I get that key, and I've already let facility maintenance know that after I leave here and after I have the plant in my car, I'm going over there and obtaining the key so I can turn the electricity on and I can water and weed on Sunday. Because I know they have a very short staff over there right now. So we will take care of it on Sunday. And I've already talked to Joe about trash. I really wish you would not put another compactor out there because the trash was horrible when we were out there cleaning. Thank you to your husband and the team that he got out there to pick up trash. They were all real young. I mean, we're talking 14 years old, except for the three coaches. And I was watching people put trash in. And Shy Me went out there and said to one of the men, "Don't you think that you threw some stuff on the ground? Don't you think you should come and pick it up?" And he says, "No, somebody else will do that." And the coaches thought better of me going into there and chatting with the man. They went in there and they chatted with him and they picked things up. But that's another problem that we're having. This is a huge county to pick up trash, and not too many people will step up to the plate. I am going to talk to the character counts. What is she? She's from Hagerman, for Rochelle. I will see if we can't do some trash pickup there. But we do other things besides pick up trash and beautification. But if you can find a grant, Commissioner Dara, that we can see what we can do about putting statues or whatever we need up there so people will not crash in here. Anybody else have any questions for Keep Chaves County Beautiful? Don't forget, we are all volunteers. Nobody gets paid. Nothing.
Thank you.
Cookies.
Appreciate it.
Who gets paid cookies?
The people with you.
Cookies.
The people, yeah. How'd you know that? I bring cookies out to all of our trash and all of our functions, and then I have a certain person involved in holding the bag, and they're putting their water. We also give them water. And that's from our RSVP grant. So we use the money because Sean and I are both RSVP and Keep Chaves County Beautiful. We don't commingle any money. No, we don't commingle any money, but we do get water and we do get PPE supplies. We got $10,000 in PPE supplies. I have it more supplies than what we need, and I bring it out. I gave one to Commissioner Cavan. And so, but anything else that we can do to help you, or if you need somebody to write grants, I am not as good as Charlotte, but I try really hard in writing grants so we can see what we can do, and they're all for Chaves County. And we do need to get rid of some of those. The following weekend, I will be out on Avenue F. No, you don't want me going out to Avenue F. There's nobody out there. He doesn't want me. Whenever you have nothing to do, you go down to Avenue F. We'll be doing that at the ETZ meeting on Tuesday. We try and help to see what we can do. Anything else? Did I answer all your questions?
Thank you.
More than what you wanted to know.
Thank you.
What? Okay.
Thank you, Miss Rita. Is that it, Bill?
Yes, that's it, unless you have any more questions for us.
Commissioner, do you have somebody else? Okay. All right, let's go ahead and move to unscheduled communications limited to 3 minutes per visitor and shall not exceed a total of 15 minutes. No formal action be taken by the commission. And Larry Conley, you can talk as long as Rita did, I think.
Larry Conley, 2815 in Kentville. Internet sales tax. I believe that the state's going to give us more money, hopefully.
Mr. Chairman, Commissioner, as far as I know, I don't believe so. They just gave us an increase last year.
Well, I heard that the city, at the Roswell meeting, their budget, they think it probably in December they will come up with more money. And legally, I guess they have to. But all I know is this morning before I left the house, they were talking about Amazon just announced they have to hire 500,000 people in the next year. cover all their business. So that's all I have to say. I hope we get more money. The state, you know, this arbitrary amount that they give us is the most asinine thing in the world. They could ask, you know,
Well said.
Yes.
Larry, to part of that question about the internet, I do know that there's going to be a lot of funding that's going to be coming from the federal government and the state on expanding our broadband internet. So that is going to be something that we'll be looking at, and I think it's extremely important for Chaves County and this community. I mean, during the pandemic, we watched children who were having to work supposedly at home, but were having to show up out on the porch of their elementary school so that they could get Wi-Fi to do their homework. And so that's something that's a big push here in the country and in the state of New Mexico to get that broadband. How we get that figured out as far as the payment for it is going to be something that is going to be tried to figure out. And towers and things like that we have that have gone up, are going up, and putting that up on those towers. But you have to get that internet service to those towers and get it broadcasted. So it's going to be an interesting process over the next year.
I talked to the UPS driver that comes to our house occasionally. I said, how much of your load is Amazon?
Go.
She said, oh, probably 85% of the packages he's delivering right now are internet. So,
Yep.
get our state legislators to talk to the state and let's get some more money from the county. Thank you.
Thank you, Larry. Anybody else that wishes to speak? Anybody else? Going once, going twice. Is there anybody out there, Facebook land, that wants to speak?
Not a single comment today.
Okay, we'll close public communications. Bill Williams.
Yeah, just want to again thank everyone for all the hard work they put into the budget. Again, I want to welcome Mac, and really looking forward to having him get in deep with all the stuff we've got going on. We're looking forward to the next year, and thank you guys for all the great decisions that you make for us. We know they don't always come easy, but certainly respect how you come to those conclusions. I just think we work in a great county and want to thank you all for that, and that's all I have today.
Thanks, Bill. Commissioner Taylor, I know you're going to be short and sweet because that tax deadline is
Looming.
even though it was extended, it's on top of you for next Monday.
We have a few days left. So, 7 to 8 every day. That's 7 in the morning to 8 at night, so we make it. But anyways, I just would like to take the opportunity to thank Annabelle and her staff. I think they did a great job putting together this budget, and thank Commissioners Ezell and Cavan for their hard work on the Budget Committee. It's we have to have a balanced budget, not like the federal government where you can just print money to cover whatever expense you want. But I think they all did a great job, and thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Taylor. Commissioner D.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I just want to say thank you to Annabelle and your staff. Thank you to all of our department heads. I appreciate you, looking at your budget, taking a serious look at it, because we don't know what next year, as we've seen with gross receipts tax, every time you send those out, Annabella, my finger does not want to open that, because I'm truly afraid of what the figures are going to be, and I appreciate that. And I'm with you. I ask our UPS driver and our FedEx driver all the time, what are you delivering? And they said, same thing. 80, 85, 90% of it is Amazon and ordering online. I've been a big advocate for Shop Local. There is a few times that I have had to order, but I found I've been able to, especially during the pandemic, do some creative shopping and go to our local and our small businesses, and if they didn't have it, they would research and find it for me. And so I think if people would do a little bit more shopping local, I think our gross receipts tax, because we get that as in Amazon, you know, the state level is creative budgeting, creative taxation, you know, just whatever, because our governor needs more money to spend on, and I won't say what. So, but thank you again. Sometimes I know it's hard. We have to be very mindful and say no sometimes, and we've done very well. Chaves County has done very well over the years, and we're in a position to where we can maintain our roads, our law enforcement, our detention center, the very things that need to be taken care of and to make our county safe. Mr. Chairman, I'm going to put on my chick hat for just a few minutes. I want you to look around the room. Annabelle, Sandra, Ellie, everybody. Look at all the gals. Sandra, stand up. Congratulations on your appointment. The other Sandra, too. Sandra 1, Sandra 2. Sandra 1, Sandra 2, Sandra 3. Charlotte, stand up. Cindy Fuller, stand up. I want you to look around the room at what we have done in Chaves County. We have women in positions here, and I don't know, I've asked fellow historians to look around and note is this a first-time precedence that we have had women in leadership roles in Chaves County. And I think we are doing very well in Chaves County, and I want to congratulate you, Sandra, Melody, Annabelle, on all these. Ellie, thank you for taking on DWI. Oh my gosh, girl. For taking on these roles within the county and being a part of this. People attack me all the time. You're part of the Good Old Boy Network, and it's like, oh honey, I am working with the best dang group of people that are working to make Chaves County safe and taking care of business and mindful of every dollar that comes in here and every dollar that is spent. So let's just call it the Good Old Girl Network now, because we have taken over, girls. So I just want it noted, because we've come a long way, and I appreciate all of you. I appreciate every single one of you and what you're doing, and congratulations on what you're doing for Chaves County. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner D. Commissioner Zell.
Well, I don't have a chick hat. And the chick took up all the time, so I will be very brief. I just want to thank all of the department heads and Annabelle and her staff for all the work that was done on this budget. It is a huge process, and you had new department heads to deal with. I know Daniel appreciated the help. Everybody came up with a great budget, and hope we can fund it. So thank you all for all your work.
Thanks, Commissioner Zell. Commissioner Bill Berry.
I don't know that I can say any more. It's already been said. I know everybody works extremely hard trying to get their budgets put together and work through this. And it's a privilege to work with such hardworking people in Chaves County. And I just thank every one of you. I really do. Appreciate you.
Thanks, Commissioner Bill Berry. It's been said, and this Chaves County, I say it frequently, and I brag about it all the time. I mean, we have the greatest group of folks that are working together to make this one of the greatest counties in this country, let alone this state. And we all work hard together, and it's a great family. And It's good to have new faces, people who have stepped up to help serve the citizens of Chaves County, and I know we have we've gotten a lot of great things accomplished, but I know we have a great future here in Chaves County with everybody working together to do the do. So, with that being said, we're gonna adjourn this meeting. God bless Chaves County, the state of New Mexico, and this amazing country. Thank you guys for being here, and thank you for all your hard work.